I kind of want to touch now on one final thing, which is you both run businesses with a partner. Do you want to leave the room at this point? How are there must be some sort of tensions and challenges, and how do you cope with that, and how do you resolve any differences of opinion, or anything that annoys you about each other?
Well, I'm frightened of Monique, so I just do what she says. No. It wouldn't work if you didn't have a shared vision, and I think that's the whole point. If you've got different ideas about what the business is and how you want it to go, then it's going to be a very short. And I think if both people weren't equal and had equal say and equal respect for each other, but I think fundamentally it's about discussions and respecting each other's views, having equal say, but in general wanting the same thing. And probably in the longer term recognising that you no longer want the same thing if that's what happens, and doing something about it. I think that would really sum it up. How do we resolve it with women? So we go on and on and on and on and on about it until we eventually, somebody loses the will to live and gives in.
So you don't do what they did, was it down in Norwich where the vote was completely even and they drew cards?
No, we've got...
I think that's quite a good way to do it.
We'll eventually get there. No, we'll eventually get there in the end, but we just womp on and on about it, and somebody will feel more strongly about it than the others. And we have slightly different areas of expertise. Although we're both HR generalists, I'm a legal expert, Monique's a performance management strategy expert. And so I will know when to actually I'll give in to Monique on that, because she knows that, and vice versa when it comes to legal issues. So I think it's about respecting each other's specialisms as well, and a joint vision, I would say. And we're not married.
I was going to say, what about working with your husband?
Well, he's not here, so how long have we got? Obviously it has its challenges. Obviously it has its advantages and disadvantages. Typically the disadvantages are you're both working there together, it's difficult to get time off, especially in the first formative year or couple of years of the company, when there's only 5 of us. If 2 of us go off for a fortnight, could be pretty damaging to the business. We've got ourselves to a stage now where we've got enough staff on board and experienced staff to not let that worry us, and neither should it. I think if we've got to this stage and the company's going to collapse because we go on holiday for 2 weeks, and it's not a very strong business anyway. But we work hard and we work longer hours because you don't mind doing it when it's your business. You might mind it, but you don't question it. It's your business. But there are differences of opinion. In the Quadra Centre here, we had one of the biggest rooms, and he was in that corner and I was in that corner. Where we are now, we've got 2 separate offices with a bit of glass in the middle. And we have different personalities, different work. We have different skill sets at work. We have different ideas, the same vision. We come up with the options and arguments, and I always win at the end of the day because I'm the wife. And he'll say I do all the work and I do he's up and down on site and project managing, and he'll say, typically, she'll just be out chatting tonight. Yeah. But we do sort of, we do, I think, have probably, because we are different, complement one another, and I think that's probably quite useful, really. And then there might be something that I see that he doesn't, and vice versa. We've always worked with each other, and I think just to as I say, have the opportunity to manage our own business together was a really exciting challenge, and makes it more exciting and more rewarding, but also you've got the double whammy of it being a little bit scary if things go wrong. But you can't always think like that. You've got to be positive.
So, where next? What do you think the big opportunities will be, and how will you go about taking them? I mentioned that you've kind of taken on your first team member, and the role is kind of as an ambassador for like that. So,
I mean, we have the work we do. A lot of it can be quite difficult, sort of frontline delivery work. Some of it's not very pleasant, and lots of restrictions and redundancies. And I think what we both would like to do, and where we'd like to move from, and I would be lying if I said we know exactly how we're going to get there, is to develop the business, but stand back a little bit from the front line of the delivery, and manage some delivery and manage the brand of the company and how things do, but actually maybe not necessarily always be the one sitting in the firing line. And that's, I mean, and we have this conversation, and that's where we both would like to get to next. And after that we'll say, so we need a plan, a clever plan, a cunning plan to get that. But the difficulty we have is we're so protective of the brand now, and we're so protective of our company, and we don't want anybody going out there and misrepresenting us or doing something or giving advice that we wouldn't have given. So it's how we get back from the front line, but still retain control over the brand that we want. That's the next step. I don't know how I'm going to get there yet.
Yeah. Hopefully there might be conversations that you can have with people who have been there, because I think it is, again, it's about these breakthrough moments.
Yeah.
And for you, Judith, I mean, I know it's early days kind of in getting established where you are, but do you see that opportunity, having taken on new premises, to really push forward?
Yeah, I mean, we could have, well, as Maureen says, about having a plan, and I do think it's very important. It was something that we needed to do immediately. We started the business in terms of getting the bank, backing of the bank, and backing of the, we applied for a business startup grant as well at the time, which we didn't get, but we needed to do a business plan, and I think it is very important for any business, no matter how small it is, to have a plan and a vision and goalposts as to, what you want to achieve, and time scales and time frames. It wouldn't really have been, it might sound strange, but a couple of people, some of the staff included, who don't really get involved with the mechanics of running a business, did question, well, why do we need to move out? Why do we need to expand? We're doing quite well the size we are, thank you very much. And the bigger you get, the more headaches you get with it. But when you get a lot of repeat business, and a lot of rollout business, such as we do, it's very difficult just to have a cut-off and say, right, we only want to turn over X amount this year, thank you very much, so we'll only take some of your jobs, but not all of them. Because the minute we do that, we'll start losing them altogether. So we were almost forced to expand the business. And having taken this big step of moving out, as we did in December, January, taking on the extra staff, our next goal is to really, button down and drive it forward and maintain this growth. There's no point now, it'd be awful for us to get where we are now and then suddenly things start tailing off. So we do need to have a real focused drive on the next 2 or 3 years going forward, which we have got, but we need to be consistent with what we're doing, and we just need to keep performing on every job.
But you both feel the opportunities are there?
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Again, given what might happen today at number 10, but I think everybody's probably wondering about that. But I think the opportunities are there, and, ours for the taking, hopefully.